Welcome to the Centralia College pregame show. At Centralia College, you can master a trade, earn a degree, or compete at the next level in one of 6 sports, including esports. Trades training, associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, affordable tuition. Visit centralia.edu and blaze your trail at Centralia College.
This is the WIAA State Basketball Championships brought to you by Glacier Credit Union. All the live championship action is on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks, as this is the Centralia College pregame show brought to you by the Welding Training Program. If you're interested in the welding program, visit centralia.edu and blaze your trail at Centralia College. We welcome you back inside of the Tacoma Dome for the 4A Girls Basketball State Quarterfinals. It's the number 3 seed Chiawana Riverhawks taking on the number 13 seed Glacier Peak Grizzlies. I'm Tyler Herger, joined alongside me, Masvita Maraive, and we have ourselves an outstanding matchup here. Glacier Peak, they are coming off of a huge upset victory. They've actually won back-to-back games in upset fashion and in loser-out games, too. Last night, they defeated Union 60-49, holding 4-star recruit Brooklyn Haywood to just 11 points after Haywood averages 35 points a game this season. They did an outstanding job on the defensive side of things. They also had a victory over Emerald Ridge in regionals. On the other side for Chiawana, they defeated Auburn 67-51. Auburn just fell earlier today to Woodinville. So Auburn, their season will continue in the consolation bracket, but Chiawana did not have to play yesterday as they were able to get the round of 12 bye. We'll step aside, take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue previewing Glacier Peak and Chiawana on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks.
I think it's time to put my money to work.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Giza has a lot of ways to help your money grow.
Oh, great.
Find a healthier approach to money at Giza.
Proactive Physical Therapy in Tumwater, Olympia, and Lacey has made a huge name in training young athletes. But Proactive is much more than that and caters to all individuals coming back from any type of injury. If you have injured yourself and you need to get back in the game or simple day-to-day life activities, call Proactive Physical Therapy today for an appointment and start your way back to feeling good. Proactive Physical Therapy accepts all insurance, car insurance, workers' comp, Medicare, and VA. You owe it to yourself to feel good and productive. So contact Proactive Physical Therapy in Tumwater, Olympia, and Lacey.
The real estate market is changing, and John L. Scott can answer your questions with a free market analysis. If you're a homeowner, it's really important to get a current market analysis. It only takes a few minutes of your time and contains valuable information about your biggest investment. This might be the year to make a move and take advantage of this market. For your free market analysis, see Laura Lee today at John L. Scott, 900 West Main in Centralia.
Alderson's Awards West Printwares is your one-stop shop to tell the world about your school, club, or business. For jackets, shirts, hats, and more, depend on Awards West. Alderson's provides fast service and quality products, including screen printing and embroidery performed on-site. Awards West has been meeting your recognition, identification, and promotional needs for over 50 years. For a full catalog, go to aldersons.net. Aldersons, 1124 Kresge Avenue in Centralia.
Welcome back, as this is the WIAA State Basketball Championships brought to you by Giza Credit Union. All the live championship action is on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks. It's already been a fun day of girls basketball here in the 4A ranks. Woodinville, they defeated Sumner Woodinville defeated Auburn, 69-45 to advance to the semifinals, where they will face Sumner, who just put together a big win against Camas. Winner of this one, they will face the winner of our next game, number 1 against number 2. Davis against Lake Washington. That will be at approximately 9 o'clock, and the semifinal tomorrow night will be at 9 o'clock as well. Loser, their season will continue. They'll have an opportunity to claim 4th place. They'll be in the consolation bracket. They'll have to win 2 in a row if they want 4th place. But these two teams, they want to hoist the gold ball, and Maz, this is an interesting matchup between Glacier Peak, who really use defense, and Chiawana, who averages over 70 points per game.
Well, Tyler, so here you go. A great offense against a great defense. So immovable, indestructible, what's going to happen here? Be interesting to see, right, because of the defense. Can Chiawana get off track early? And then what does Glacier Peak do in terms of, if Chiawana does, how do they expand their defense? And, yeah, we're just going to have to see who sets the tone early and who can exert their will on the first punch. And then, of course, we're going to see ebbs and flows throughout the game.
Yeah, certainly wouldn't be a basketball game if we didn't see those ebbs and flows. Chiawana, they defeated Glacier Peak 66-52 earlier this season, so there is familiarity between the two sides. And when we were talking with both coaches, they talked about the knowledge that they had learned from each other's teams and maybe, some differing strategies for these two sides in this state quarterfinal game. Glacier Peak coming into this game out of the Westco 4A with a record of 20-7. It's their first appearance at state since 2020 when they finished third. And 3 of their last 4 trips to state, they have placed. They got third in 2020, fourth in 2019, and second in 2017. On the other side for Chiawana, this is their first trip to state since 2022. They're on a 23-game win streak. They lost their very first game to Prosser, 76-67. They haven't lost since. It's their 10th state appearance, and this is their 4th time making it to the quarterfinals, and 21 of 23 of their wins have been by double digits. So this is a team out of the Mid-Columbia Conference that utilizes great offense. They also pair it together with great defense, allowing just 46 points per game. However, take a look at Glacier Peak. They averaged 62.5 points per game and allowed just 48 points per game and held Union right around that average yesterday. And Union is another team that scores 70-plus points a game. So Glacier Peak taking that defensive approach, and we hear it all the time. Defense wins championships, right? That cliche comes up time and time again, but it's a cliche because it ends up being the truth at the end of the day.
And to do that, so let's delve down a little bit. What is good defense? What good defense is making sure that you're blocking the passing lanes, that you get there first, that when you're on ball defense, your legal guarded position, you're not reaching, good rebounding, limiting the other team to just the one shot, contesting the shots as often as you can. And, of course, we heard this from both coaches, and they talked about the turnovers, right? So good defense. You want to create turnovers. You don't want to force turnovers. The difference there.
Every single coach at this point in the season, they're going to say a couple of things. One of them will be rebounding well, and one of them is limiting turnovers. And another thing, too, is limiting second chance points. And this is something, especially when you're at least in hopes of playing 4 games in 4 days, as Glacier Peak is doing, or 3 games in 3 days, as Chiawana would have to do if they're able to get to Championship Saturday, or at least Hardware Saturday, to play for some trophies. You don't want to have to exert so much of your energy on the defensive side, playing on defense for a minute and a half, because you're giving up offensive rebound after offensive rebound.
Yeah, because then the game becomes uphill.
Yep.
Right, and then you're not going to see that early, but third quarter, fourth quarter, the legs get heavy, and then and then mentally you break down, and then you're making those mistakes in offense. The more shots you take, the more up you're going up the court, you're going downhill. So I don't know about you, but would you rather be running uphill or downhill?
I'd rather be running downhill, let gravity take me to the finish line. And well, let's take a look at the starting 5 here for both of these two sides. For Glacier Peak, they are led by head coach Brian Hill. They will be starting senior guard Brenna Pukas, junior guard Zoe Ritter, senior guard and post Sammy Toma, senior guard post Ricky Miller, and freshman post Lily Riechelson. On the other side, the Chiawana Riverhawks, they will be starting Emily Thompson, a sophomore guard, a senior guard in Kaya Foster, a sophomore forward in Jordan Maiden, a junior guard in Bailey Maldonado, and a senior forward in Malaya Rude. They are led by head coach Gary Jonas, and there are 3 different D1 commits out on the floor. Kaya Foster, she is headed to New Mexico. Malaya Rude, she is heading to Washington State. And for Glacier Peak, Brenna Pukas will be going to Vermont. And what that says is we have a lot of talent out on the floor tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, Tyler, let's just say that it's an honor just to be here, just to, to witness this, because what we're going to get effort. There's just no doubt about that. Both coaches know, both players, and I think, we talked to the coach over there. He said, you know what, it's about the players wanting this, owning this, and I don't know about you, that's a vibe I'm getting. There's an ownership and a privilege that they want to take this and win this game and continue.
Yeah, and you know, there's so much that you can do in the regular season, in the preseason, you know, in the off season, even a lot of coaching. But when it comes down to these, at least next 3 days, it's up to the players. There's only so much that the coaches can do, right? It's up to executing, and we will see two teams that execute at a very high level. Should be a really fun one as Glacier Peak in their navy blue jerseys and navy blue shorts, Chiawana in their white jerseys and white shorts. Glacier Peak will be going from left to right in the first half. Winner to the state semifinals tomorrow night at 9 p.m. And they would be just 2 wins away from hoisting the golden ball, but it feels like an eternity until then. 32 minutes to decide who will be the third team into the state semifinals. Glacier Peak and Chiawana is underway with the Riverhawks controlling the tap. Bailey Maldonado, the junior guard, walks it up and sets up the offense for Chiawana. It's Emily Thompson on the wing. Back up top, it's Kaya Foster. Swings it into the corner, loading up the 3. That one skims out. That one couldn't drop for Jordan Maiden, and a nice rebound for Glacier Peak. Sammy Toma up ahead where it's Zoe Ritter. First time Brenna Pukas gets a touch tonight. She was instrumental yesterday in getting Glacier Peak the victory, but picked up 3 first-half fouls yesterday. Puts it up with the right hand, and it's short. Rebound snagged by Bailey Maldonado. Forcing it up ahead where it's Foster. Wanted to shoot the 3, instead reverses. Maldonado from the outside, and it rims out. Rebound for Ricky Miller. Zoe Ritter brings it up for Glacier Peak. It's Toma on the wing. Toma was our game MVP last night, but has an offensive foul. So it will go back to Chiawana.
Yeah, and both teams have gotten some good looks. It would have been nice, you know, if they would have made their first shot. That's what the coaches would prefer. But I think what they'll take is that both teams have had a chance to kind of run their offense, get good looks at the basket, and it's just a matter of continue to shoot.
First touch for Malia Root goes out of play, and will head back to Glacier Peak. Glacier Peak, their last semifinal appearance, it came in 2020. And last night, you know, it was some performance that Glacier Peak had. Brenna Pukas had 16 points. She was 4 of 7 from 3, and Sammy Toma had 19 points. She was 6 of 7 from inside the arc. Very efficient shooting from the Grizzlies. Pukas has to pick up her dribble at the top. Swings it over into the corner where it's Ritter. Ritter going baseline. Stops on the block. 7 on the shot clock. Looks for anyone. Is able to get it out for Lily Riechelson. Pulls the 3. It skims off the front of the rim. And we are seeing some outstanding defense 90 seconds into this quarterfinal matchup.
Each shot is being contested by both teams, and that is good defense.
Foul from behind. I believe it would be Lily Riechelson who will pick up her first as she tagged Rude. And we will see 2 free throws as Rude will head to the free throw line trying to break this scoreless tie.
And so there's your good basic basketball, right? Coaching that if you're not getting your outside shot isn't working, let's go down low. Let's try to get an easy shot.
Well, and the other thing, too, make her earn it from the free throw line, right? Don't just give her that easy shot. She goes 1 for 2. So Rude is able to get the first point on the board. It goes to Chiawana. They have an early 1-0 lead. Toma has to back it out. It's Pukas into the corner. She'll step back for 3. Can't connect on the triple. Nice rebound from Rude. Thompson pushing the pace a little bit for Chiawana. She'll get into the lane. Backs it outside. Rude with the long ball and knocks it down. First made field goal, and it goes to Malia Rude for 3.
Well, and she just made you know, the free throw. Now she's showing her versatility by going in there and scoring a 3.
And there's Brenna Pukas, who is able to knock it down for Glacier Peak, gets them on the scoreboard. So it is 4-3. Chiawana on top. That 3 a little too strong, as it was Maiden in the corner trying to knock down the triple. So here's Ritter. Into the lane, stops and pops, it's short. Thompson able to seize the board. She's ready to run into the front court. Now outside is Maldonado, who traveled before the three.
Travel, and she wished she made the shot, but you know what? I mean, if the shot counted, but what you like about that is she shot it in rhythm. So there's a bit of confidence builder there. Sure, she's got the mistakes she made, but
you know, the other thing too, first night that Chiawana is here on the floor at least playing in real action, so might as well get that shot up while you can and find that rhythm as it's Pukas going one-on-one. Great defense from Maldonado. She does draw the foul, does Pukas, and it will head to the free throw line. So Maldonado with her first foul. Brenna Pukas had a couple of highlight plays, but none bigger than her step back three. It was a couple of feet beyond the three-point arc last night. She cashes in on the first free throw. Chiawana will make a substitution. Gianna Medelez will check in for the Riverhawks. Two for two from the free throw line was Pukas, but that step back three really helped solidify things. There's an offensive foul against Emily Thompson. So a 5-4 lead for Glacier Peak. And this is something that Glacier Peak did very well, and it's something that also has been a theme throughout this tournament and really throughout the whole regular season, is teams that are able to grasp firm control of the game in the first half, they typically end up winning. Although it's one thing to get a lead, it's another thing to close it out.
That's right.
There's a corner three. It's Zoe Ritter from downtown, and Glacier Peak is heating up here over the last couple of minutes. Maldonado finds Thompson, pulls the three, it's short, and scooped up by Ritter in the corner, and she'll bring it up for the Grizzlies. Ritter looks over her options, takes it herself to the basket. A little too strong as it goes off the glass. Foster with the board, and she pushes the pace. Foster, they duck it down low, and Rude can't get that one to spin in. It went around the world and out. Able to get her own miss, however. Foster tries the triple, and she connects. Holds Chiawana to within one.
Both teams are finding their rhythm. They're finding spacing, and their outside shots are going in. You like that just in terms of the flow of the game.
There's Lily Riechelson back outside. Ricky Miller from the outside and banks it in from downtown. Already the third made three for Glacier Peak. The fifth made three of the ball game. Here's another three on the way, and Medelez knocks it down. Oh, the threes are falling. Here's Miller with another one, and it bounces out. Miller, a superb three-point shooter, actually set the school record with 9 made three-pointers in a game earlier this year. Thompson swings it over to the wing. Maldonado, nice hesitation, gets into the lane, flips it up off the glass. What a play for Bailey Maldonado, and it gives Chiawana a 1-point lead.
Classic dribble drive penetration, and then she kind of constructed her body there. Just a great play by a great athlete.
Miller was short on the three. Foul will be called on Riechelson. She was battling for the boards. A couple of substitutions. Madi Contreras will check in for Chiawana. Dylan Gordon will come in for Glacier Peak. Gordon had a really good game yesterday. Again, one of those athletes that didn't exactly fill up the stat sheet, but did a lot of the little things right, whether it's closeouts, boxing out.
And those things are important when you're trying to move in the state finals.
And Gianna Medelez has it going from beyond the arc, has 2 threes. Medelez, I should say, the junior guard. Foot on the line. Doesn't matter, it didn't go. Offensive board down low for Miller. It gets tapped out, and Toma tracks it down for Glacier Peak. All alone in the corner, Miller hoists another three, and it's too strong. Rebound tracked down by Rude. Rude shot fake from the outside, drops it back. Medelez has had the hot hand. Instead finds Maldonado for three. It's off the side of the rim, and there's Gordon with the rebound. Boy, this first quarter, it has flown by. Under a minute and a half left here in the first quarter. Toma on the block, gets her own miss, puts it up again, this time too strong, and rebound secured by Foster underneath.
Yeah, Tyler, what we're seeing is aggressive. We talked about uphill, downhill. We're seeing downhill offense. They're going down, getting down the court, moving around, and taking shots that are within their offense.
Maldonado slows it down. Under a minute to go. Medella's another three rattles out. Riechelson able to seize the board, and here's Pukas up ahead. Pukas looking to create. Tough shot over Rude, and it falls.
And she did create the fadeaway. She went forward, back, and then up.
So here's Foster. It's the screen from Rude. Medella's. It's another screen this time from Rude. Medella's for three. It's short. Foster, she was able to save it and bank it off of Glacier Peak. It will stay here. What an excellent play as two subs check in for Chiawana. Eva Thompson checking in for the Riverhawks.
And you can see why Foster's going to the next level, that awareness and then the athletic ability to act upon that.
Mia Tiarina also in for Chiawana. She has it now. Here's Maldonado. 5 on the shot clock. Maldonado from three from way outside. It spins out.
She didn't want to shoot it. She was going to pass it. And then her teammate fell to the ground, so she said, well, I might as well shoot.
5 seconds left for Glacier Peak in the first quarter. Step back three for Ritter. That falls short. And that is how the first quarter comes to a close. What a fun quarter it was. Chiawana with a 2-point lead heading into the second quarter. It's 15-13 here on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks.
At first, it was just a team. Now I can't imagine my life without them.
That coach changed our son, on the field and off.
The weather is changing, and it's time to make sure your vehicle is ready for heavy rain, cold morning starts, plus ice and snow. Schedule an appointment now at Point S Centralia OK Tire to have a multi-point inspection. The pros at Point S will check your shocks, brakes, including fluid, battery, and of course your tires. Point S Centralia OK Tire has the best brand name tires like Cooper, Goodyear, and Nokian in stock and ready to put on. Your new tires also come with a warranty good at over 200 locations. Point S Centralia OK Tire, 1741 Harrison Avenue in Centralia.
This is the WIAA State Basketball Championships brought to you by Giza Credit Union. All the live championship action is on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks. Glacier Peak beginning the second quarter with the ball. Quick trigger from Miller. That bounces out of play, and it will head right back to Chiawana, who has a 2-point lead, 15-13 after the first 8 minutes of play. Now will be Maldonado who brings it up for Chiawana. And as we were chatting a little bit during the break, looking at the stats, it's pretty even so far. So that's what the scoreboard shows as well.
No, absolutely. Players are tuned in. They're buying in, both offense and defense, and they're committed to the cause.
Three is short offensive rebound for Contreras. That can't go. And Toma able to snatch the board.
And especially on the rebounds, right? I mean, it's very, very close in terms of rebound. 10-11 in favor of Glacier Peak.
Off of the Pukas miss, it's Maldonado pushing the pace. Maldonado, and a foul goes against Ritter. Not a lot of fouls called in that first quarter. Very active, though, up and down the floor. Seemed like that first quarter went by in the blink of an eye as back on the floor, Kaya Foster and Malia Rude.
That wasn't a bad foul at all, right? Because Maldonado, her ability to get up court with the ball, you could tell she can accelerate. So once in a while, fouls aren't such a bad thing. You just don't need to get a whole bunch of them.
And that time it was Ritter trying to set up the charge, so it's one of those 50-50 calls where you never know. You might get it set up in time as that one trickles out for Rude. And it was only Ritter's first foul, so like you said, not worst case scenario, no harm. Miller from way outside. She's trying to get it going from beyond the arc after hitting that deep triple earlier. Maldonado resetting things for Chiawana. She'll try the three. That one's off the side of the rim. We are seeing a ton of three-point attempts from both of these teams, and that's as expected. They are fearless at shooting. It doesn't matter if they're not going. They know if they keep putting it up from three, it will eventually fall.
Yeah, because the three attempt is part of their offense, right? It's one of those where they're not forcing it, and it's not out of their set offense.
So Sammy Toma able to head to the free throw line. Foul goes against Mia Tiarina. Able to drain the first free throw, Sammy Toma. Lily Riechelson back into the game for Glacier Peak, the freshman post. First 2 points of the second quarter go to Glacier Peak. And Sammy Toma, who has her first 2 points of the game. And we're tying at 15 apiece, 2 minutes into quarter number 2 of quarterfinal number 3. They get it down low to Rude off the window. Nice job from Malia Rude. Has a free throw, a three, and now a two made.
She's got the trifecta. Just a real good seal by her right there.
That one just barely off the mark for Pukas. What effort from Gordon to keep it alive. Now Toma. Back to Gordon. That pass a little bit behind. Still scrambling for it on the floor, and they get the timeout as it was Maldonado who secured possession to allow Chiawana to call the timeout. Well, we have a timeout. Download the WIAA Live mobile app to easily access schedules, scores, rankings, tournament brackets, and a whole lot more. Download the WIAA Live app from your mobile app store today. Not only, boy, what a great time to get that WIAA app. You got all the action here with both of the courts and 2 different classifications with the boys and girls. There's been a lot of action in Yakima, a ton of action in Spokane too. Just for this week alone, it's worthy, but you also get the Athlete of the Week on there too, telling the stories of these athletes all across the state from all different classes, both on their playing surface and off of it. A lot of great stories to be had.
Look, we know this is an app-driven, where we're at now. There's some good ones, and there's some great ones, and that sounds like a good one to have. Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, fantastic app to download. There was a little miscommunication from the scorers table to the referees. I think we're just getting everything all squared away.
Yeah, make sure they got the jump ball and then the timeout.
And since it was a timeout, possession arrow doesn't change. Possession arrow was to Chiawana. That's why there's that little discrepancy.
Absolutely.
Good job from all of our referees making sure they're on the same page. Rude is on the same page down low as she goes back to back, banking it in.
No, absolutely. And today's crew chief is Trey Turner, so he's communicating and making sure. And it's a great crew, by the way.
All of our crews here at the state tournaments are great crews. That three off the heel, trying to get that one to drop with Lily Riechelson.
Yeah, because you have to earn your way here just like the teams. It's a grading system, and, it starts in early November for them, just like the athletes. And, this is their state finals as well.
Yeah, they do such a great job giving these athletes the opportunity to have these championships. As Rude with another offensive rebound. She's already up to 10 points, first player in double figures. Pukas not far behind with 7 points. Dishes it over to the wing. Toma, tough shot, and she's fouled and will go to the free throw line. Glacier Peak doing a great job of getting inside the lane, drawing those fouls. Medelez is charged with her first foul. 6-point lead for Chiawana, 21-15 with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Another free throw is sunk for Sammy Toma. Make sure you stick around at halftime. We'll have our John L. Scott Realty halftime show talk about the first half, also the second half, and a whole lot more as Toma goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. She'll step out for a little bit as Ricky Miller re-enters for Glacier Peak. Medelas, they try and get it inside to Rude. Looks like they sent the double team towards Rude. Maybe trying to force it elsewhere after Rude has had herself 6 points.
Right, and by the double team there, it opens up spacing forward. Should open up some space.
And it does open up space for Mia Tiarina from downtown. So a 7-point lead for Chiawana. Already their 5th made 3 of this first half. Pukas trying to create a great defense from Tiarina. Back into the hands of Pukas. Just took a look at the clock. Sees 10 on the shot clock. Pukas now stymied by Medelas. Into the corner, Medelas diving after it. It's still up for grabs, and Rude scoops it up off the floor. Nearly stolen away, but it's Foster up ahead. Going 1-on-2, now 1-on-3. Foster puts up the jump shot, fouled, and she will have a pair of free throws. How about that effort in the corner by Gianna Medelas, the junior guard? Not only did she poke it away from Pukas, she was able to keep it away from going out of bounds and tapped it to her teammates, and that starts the breakout.
And then, I mean, you had 3 contested passes there. The one you talk about the corner, and then Glacier Peak almost got the ball back. So we're talking about offense, but again, it goes back what we said at the top of the broadcast, the contested passes and trying to get in the lane without fouling.
Precise passing, such a key part. Another one of those little things. You always hear coaches talk at this time of the year as Foster goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. You always hear coaches talk about executing the little things. Well, that's one of them, right? Making sure those passes are crisp and accurate and precise. Making sure you're knocking down free throws like we just saw Foster do. No unforced errors as well as Miller from 3 knocks down another one. Big basket there for Glacier Peak.
They needed that. Looked like Chiawana was maybe pulling away a little bit, but no. Stem the tide, get some confidence, and get back to what? Running downhill.
And here comes Pukas after the Tiarina miss from 3. Pukas, that mid-range jump shot, and she's been liking going to her right and stepping back from about 7 to 10 feet. And her jump shot, you could watch that all day long. That is a picture-perfect jump shot.
I was going to say we are biased and impartial, but I like that. That was a good-looking shot, right? We have to commend when we see good plays out there that she's got a sweet shot.
Hit 4 threes last night. Their victory over Union. What a feed down low as Ritter is able to set up Riechelson, who will head to the free throw line. So Mia Tiarina will be charged with her second foul. Emily Thompson came in a moment ago for Chiawana. But it's Riechelson at the free throw line. Knocks it down. Her first point. Sammy Toma in the ball game for Glacier Peak, and Bailey Maldonado returning for the Riverhawks. These two teams shoot the free throw at such an exceptional rate.
No, it goes back to what you said about the little things that, you know, the coaches stress and the fundamentals.
Emily Thompson off the mark from 3, and they get a push on Kaya Foster. So Foster charged with her first. So Maz, you do some refereeing, and
I do.
That's one of those cases where fans, there's a common misconception of between over the back and pushing through the back. That's where it's a push. And as a matter of fact, if you go over the back cleanly and don't touch the player, it's a clean rebound, as there's a clean 3 from way outside.
Yeah, as long as there's no contact there, you can go over the back, over the leg, whatever you want. But once you make that contact, and Tyler, I like that because you know basketball, it's called a push.
Yep.
Right? There's no such thing as over the back foul.
Trying to get the 3 to respond. Emily Thompson, offensive rebound. Rude had it blocked from behind, gets it back, and they're going to say jump ball. It stays here with Chiawana, but that bench for Glacier Peak erupted after a couple of stops on Rude, knowing how dominant she's been down low, specifically in the second quarter.
No, absolutely, and she was that close to the basket, so she's going up, and for, people that are a couple players from Glacier Peak half her size going up and contesting that's great defense.
Rude is fouled, trying to split the double team before the shot, even though she made it. It is before. Pukas with her first. I mentioned earlier that she had 3 fouls yesterday, so the fact that that's just her first, surely a good sign for Glacier Peak. Kaya Foster will head to the bench. Eva Thompson back into the game for Chiawana.
That's good coaching and good adjustment, right? That's how you coach a player, and you improve from game to the next game.
Nice pass, Rude to the outside. This 3 from Madi Contreras, who just checked in a moment ago, was too strong. And Glacier Peak now with a 1-point lead at 27-26, closing in on a minute to go in the first half, can add to their lead. Little 7-0 run here for the Grizzlies. Miller looking for another one, and a travel is called. But boy, she's in rhythm. She just sunk that one. And we talked about it earlier about just get that shot off even if there is a travel. Talked about catching the ball in rhythm. She was in rhythm, and boy, she's in a big rhythm from beyond the arc with a couple of threes.
It works for your confidence. That's the thing. Even though you travel, when you make that shot, you're like, okay.
And that one deflected away, scooped up by Ritter. And Glacier Peak will slow it down. Ritter sets up the offense for the Grizzlies. Boy, great defense from Eva Thompson until a little too much contact on the drive.
Ryan, that's if we continue with our theme of reffing, that's the hand check. So you can't have that hand on the hip. And back in the day, the NBA and whatnot, even college, they used to do that because why they took it out was the stronger players could actually control the offensive player at the hip because that's where your leverage is. So they took that away for the freedom of movement.
Zoe Ritter at the free throw line as Chiawana in the bonus with those 5 team fouls. Kaya Foster returning for Chiawana. Glacier Peak hasn't missed a free throw here in the first half. Part of why they have a 3-point lead over the number 3 seed, Chiawana Riverhawks. 15 seconds left in the half. Shot clock turned off. Maldonado finds Medelez. Kicks it outside. Contreras for 3. Too much. It goes off the window. What a play from Rude. She tapped it to Maldonado, who flips it in, and that is how the first half comes to a close. It's Glacier Peak with a 29-28 lead over Chiawana going into the half. Make sure you stay tuned as we will have our John L. Scott Realty halftime show.
Let's see what he's going to...
Oh, hang on. We do have...
Are we going to count the basket? So the bucket counts. I think we're going to go... Yep.
Okay, yep, basket does count, and we will have our John L. Scott Realty halftime show right around the corner here on the Eli Sports and the NFHS networks. Don't go anywhere.
Looking for a better healthcare experience? Welcome to Zoom Care, where your care journey is beyond better. Get the urgent, primary, and emergency care you need, when, where, and how you want it. With online scheduling, evening and weekend hours, and neighborhood clinics near you, Zoom Care makes getting exceptional care easy. And our team of providers are with you every step of the way, from check-in to check-up to check-out. Zoom Care, beyond better healthcare.
At Tyler Rental, quality equipment and helpful counter pros save you costly delays. For projects big and small, Tyler has Genie man lifts and forklifts, Deere excavators, welders, and generators, plus new tools from Steel, Milwaukee, and Hilti. While you're in the store, shop for hard hats, safety glasses, gloves, hearing protection, and much more. Contractors and homeowners depend on Tyler Rental for selection and well-maintained equipment to avoid downtime. Tyler Rental, 153 Hamilton Road, south of Chehalis.
Thorbeck's Athletic Club is your community fitness destination, with 4 locations in Centralia, Chehalis, Grand Mound, and South Bend. A Thorbeck's membership gains you access to all facilities, including state-of-the-art cardio and strength equipment, group fitness classes, indoor pool, basketball, pickleball, and more. Thorbeck's is more than a gym. They're a support system helping you live healthier and happier. Experience the difference and join the Thorbeck's community today, where everyone belongs.
Welcome to the John L. Scott Halftime Show. When it comes to real estate, contact the pros at John L. Scott, located at 900 West Main in Centralia. Now let's get back to the ESN crew with all the halftime stats and recaps on the Eli and NFHS sports networks.
This is the WIAA State Basketball Championships brought to you by Giza Credit Union. All the live championship action is on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks. As you're watching the John L. Scott Realty Halftime Show, get a free market analysis on your property. For Southwest Washington, contact Laura Lee Zuber at the Centralia John L. Scott office. Boy, what a fun game we have here. Glacier Peak and Chiawana, it is neck and neck at the half. We're getting the halftime stats right now, but Maz, we were just glancing over some of the basic stats here. There's no real advantage. It's pretty even, and we'll probably see that as we break things down on the stat sheet.
Let's do that.
I mean, the one glaring thing, Malia Rude, she has 4 offensive rebounds. Chiawana with 8 offensive rebounds compared to Glacier Peak, who has 5 offensive rebounds. But defensively, the rebounds are pretty similar, 13 apiece. Turnovers are similar, 5 turnovers for Glacier Peak as opposed to 4 for Chiawana. You take a look at three-point shooting. You know, both of them have 5 made three-pointers. So, I mean, as we take a look at our halftime highlights as well, we're going to see a lot of threes made from both of these two sides. I mean, it's pretty even. What else stands out to you?
Well, I mean, let's go back to Rude because I think you made a really good observation there. So, 4 and 4 on the rebounds, but the thing is, 8 total and split up. She's solid. So on offense, she has the 4, which means that she's, getting the extra, helping her team, getting the extra shots. And then the flip side of that, on the defensive side, when she's grabbing those 4, that's nullifying any second chances for Glacier Peak. That's one that kind of sticks out for me. And, I mentioned this off air. I like Samantha Tacoma.
Yep.
She's 0 for 2 from the field, but she's 4 for 4 from 3 free throws. But if you go across the her line,
she has 4 rebounds, 2 on the offensive glass, 2 on the defensive glass. She's also drawn a couple of fouls. And as I mentioned earlier, Sammy Toma was our game MVP last night, and you're seeing why with their play in the first half.
And it's just like you mentioned, you need those players that are going to do the extra things. You're going to have your Ricky Miller with the 9 points, You're going to have your Brianna Perkins with, 9. But what you need is the emulsifiers, those players that put it all together. And those are critical, and you need that to get over the hump to this game and to get to the next game.
Yeah, and then on the other side, you look at Chiawana, Bailey Maldonado. She's been really good running the show, a couple of baskets down low. We've talked a little bit about Gianna Mandela is coming off the bench, knocking down a couple of threes, too, helping Chiawana from beyond the arc, where we know both of these two teams live. We saw 35 combined three-pointers attempted in the first half. If you love outside shooting, this is the game to tune in for. But it still has come down to the defenses because a lot of those threes are either contested or, as I mentioned, looking at those rebounding stats, not a ton of offensive rebounds have been out there.
Right, and the thing with the threes that we're seeing, it is part of the offense. And we know that's where the game is now. And so that's why that the amount that is being taken makes sense. They're not stretched. But then on the flip side is that the defense is letting him to a certain place, that, taking the shots here and not allowing those other shots. And that's critical just in terms of, of staying close. And speaking of close, what do we got?
We got ourselves a 1-point ball game, the slimmest of margins that you can have. I'm curious, because it's such a close game, what does the winning team need to do? Whoever it ends up being, how do they end up winning this game? Because we've talked about how even it is.
Yeah, great question. And so, one of them, the easiest answer, and I don't know if this is it, right? Because you would say that, all right, cause turnovers.
Yeah.
But, you've got, experienced players. So I think the executing your offense a little bit more, and then getting downhill and moving the other team. So that, let's just flip it around here and let me get specific. So Glacier Peak needs to get Chiawana. Glacier Peak needs to get up and down the court, so that way they move Chiawana. So Chiawana can't slow down and slow them down. On the flip side, I think Chiawana just needs to get down and get the ball inside the post a little bit, make a few of those, have Glacier Peak's defense come down, double team, and then kick it back out if Maldonado can get hot out there. So now you got that, up internal,
the inside-out game
that
you can
yeah,
play.
Yeah,
it's always a blessing when you can go inside
That's
out,
right.
but also maybe go outside in as well. A 1-point lead for Glacier Peak, the number 13 seed over the number 3 seed, Chiawana Riverhawks. We've got a fun second half coming up on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks.
What makes a name? You might think it's the game winners or the highlights, but the foundation is ours. Sacrifice and failure. Did you think it was easy? The work behind this name will make it echo forever.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Nationally known and locally owned, Southwest Washington is home to 6 locally owned Napa stores, providing you with the best quality parts and services you need. With fast access to an inventory of over 400,000 parts, with ASE certified parts specialists ready to help, it's no wonder so many do-it-yourselfers count on Napa Auto Parts. Visit Wilson's Napa Auto Parts in Centralia, Chehalis, Rochester, Tenino, Castle Rock, and the heavy-duty and wholesale location on State Avenue in Chehalis, or go to wilsonnapa.com.
The opioid crisis is real, and many families are dealing with this insidious problem. It can attack anyone, from illegal street drugs to legal prescriptions. American Behavioral Health Systems is here to help, and has responded to this issue with our Secure Withdrawal Management Center. It's specialized medication-assisted opioid treatment and detox for low-income and Medicaid-eligible clients. The time is now to free yourself from addiction. For more information, go to AmericanBehavioralHealth.net.
This is the WIAA State Basketball Championships, brought to you by Giza Credit Union. All the live championship action is on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks, as it is a 29-28 lead for Glacier Peak over Chiawana. Glacier Peak will start the second half with the ball, and that 1-point advantage 16 minutes away from deciding who is going to the state semifinals. It will be Zoe Ritter who begins it with Glacier Peak. Finds Ricky Miller, who had 3 threes in the first half. Now it's Brenna Pukas. Guarded tightly. Working against Kaya Foster. Tried to force a pass down low, and a foul is called. Pukas was able to regather it, and I believe it will be Malia Rude will get tagged with her first as she was trying to dive after it.
Yeah, and that was our crew chief, Trey Turner, along with his great crew, Josh Lloyd, and also Jim Jacobson. Those are our 3 officials who we haven't said much about, right?
No, it was a really well-called game here in the first half, and I know all these great referees, we really thank them for being here and taking the time, because they don't have to be referees, right? This is, a lot of, for pretty much all of them, it's part-time gigs, and so they're just out here helping these kids have these great experiences like playing in the Tacoma Dome with an opportunity to hoist the gold ball in the state championship. That one is off the mark for Bailey Maldonado. It's one and done for Chiawana. Pukas up ahead. Slows it down for the Grizzlies. Here's Ricky Miller. Miller, another deep triple, and she hits it from way outside. Malia Rude at the top. Swings it over for Bailey Maldonado. Jump shot for Kaya Foster, rims out. And they get a jump ball. It will stay here with Chiawana. Great effort from Emily Thompson as she was able to force the jump ball.
And again, great fundamental awareness that she grabs the ball, doesn't grab the body, doesn't grab an arm there.
Foster for 3 was this.
It's off the screen.
Yeah.
I'm going to think it's
one
off
of the Riverhawks ended up taking a tumble, and it will be Sammy Toma who went through the screener. Just her second, but a couple of quick fouls against Glacier Peak. Rude. Nice pass outside. Try and set up Thompson in the post. It's Rude who will lay it in. Her first basket of the second half, and she's up to a dozen. Pukas. She's looking towards the post. It was great defense down there. They tried to get Toma set up. Now she has to retreat nearly to the logo. Toma backs it into the lane. Drops it outside. On the run, off the glass. It's Lily Riechelson with her first made field goal. Glacier Peak up 4, 34-30. Thompson for 3. Grazed off the front of the rim. And a strong rebound from Ritter as that one was up in the air. It was kind of awkward as it took the bounce and was almost at its peak when she grabbed it.
Absolutely. That's a hard get on the rebound.
Gianna Medeles with the foul. Her second foul, and now Mia Tiarina into the ball game for Chiawana. Oh, great hands. Maldonado with the steal as she poked it free right off the inbound.
You talk about running downhill. Oh.
And it goes out of play as she was trying to find Tiarina just a little bit out of reach, and it heads back to Glacier Peak.
Yeah, she tried to tell her, to move, to get down court, but Maldonado's got to realize not everybody can get down court as fast as she can with that speed.
Zoe Ritter. Now it's Pukas. She'll try the 3, and she hits it. Brenna Pukas with 12 points. 7 made threes for Glacier Peak, and their lead stands at 7. Foster outside, Maldonado, travel. Jordan Maiden back into the game for Chiawana. Emily Thompson as well for the Riverhawks. And with the way how Glacier Peak is shooting the 3 ball, if they make a 3 here, their lead would go up to double digits.
Absolutely. So Chiawana's aware of that, so they need a good defensive possession here.
Pukas can't connect on the triple.
And they got that with what? The obvious D1 player going on to the next level. That's a great rebound by Foster.
Miller with the foul inside on Rude, and she'll head to the free throw line.
And you notice, Tyler, kind of what we're talking about with They got the defensive stop that they needed, and then when they need that offense, they went down inside the paint.
And they also, we've seen a lot of double teams thrown Rude's way as she's able to knock down that first free throw. It's important for Chiawana to get it down low to Rude before they can set up the double team, right? Running the floor efficiently and effectively, so then she has it and forcing Glacier Peak to have that double team come late and then foul, and then you go to the free throw line and make 2 shots like Malia Rude just did.
That's absolutely is the key. Absolutely. You're spot on that.
Ritter was looking Pukas' way, goes behind the back, drops it off down low, and the lay-in for Riechelson.
She got behind the defense.
That's the attention that Pukas draws. They had 2 players that followed her. We'll get Ritter with her third. So 4:38 left in the third quarter, a 7-point lead for Glacier Peak, 39-32. Dylan Gordon re-enters for Glacier Peak, and a timeout will be called by Chiawana. Well, let's take time as well. At the 40:38 mark of the third, we step aside.
Thorbeck's is more than a gym. They're a hub for youth activities and family fun. From action-packed youth programs to the pool where every splash is a step toward fitness. Shoot hoops, learn to play tennis, take up the pickleball craze, or challenge yourself in the boxing studio. How about yoga or spin classes? There's something for everyone. Whatever your passion, level, and pace, Thorbeck's has it all. Come be part of something bigger at Thorbeck's, where fitness meets fun for everyone.
This is the WIAA State Basketball Championships, brought to you by Giza Credit Union, with all of the live championship action on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks. Glacier Peak 39, Chiawana 32. The Riverhawks calling their second timeout. They have 3 left. Glacier Peak and Coach Brian Hill hasn't needed to call a timeout yet. He has all 5 in his back pocket. Coach Gary Jonas with 3 remaining. He's called a full and a 30-second timeout. Each team at the beginning of the game, they get 3 full or 60-second timeouts and 2 30-second timeouts.
There's 5 learning opportunities that you can make an adjustment in the game. So coaches are smart that they use them, wisely when they think, change momentum, just like that.
Mandela's for 3, it's short. Offensive rebound and going high off the glass. Jordan Maiden for her first field goal. And she went way high off the window.
She made it rain up in here.
Yes.
I saw a little raindrop come up. Good shot.
Pukas. Gets it into the corner. Miller looking for another triple, and she's got it. 5 threes this game for Ricky Miller. Halfway through the third quarter, and a steal as Pukas jarred it free from behind. Pukas up the floor, and again slows it down for Glacier Peak. She'll get the screen. Good defense from Thompson, getting right back in her face. They have the mismatch down low. They go with the outside shot as Toma tried the 3 ball. Kaya Foster only 5 points in this game so far. She attacks the basket and 1.
Just glided from end to end. I mean, that was, you could see why coaches are offering her, scholarships.
Sammy Toma.
And for somebody that big and that agile and that smooth to go from end to end is obviously a bonus and a good time for her to show up in the game here.
It was actually Ricky Miller who was charged with the foul. That one in and out on the free throw effort. Foul called against Chiawana. Foster was previously 2 of 2 from the foul line. Jordan Maiden collects her first foul. And as you mentioned, Foster just gliding down the floor. It looked so effortless, but she was so fast getting around the defenders.
That's exactly right.
Another quick foul in the backcourt. So Maiden picks up her second foul in just a matter of seconds.
All right, both teams here, the next foul on either team is going to give them 2 shots.
Yep, Glacier Peak with those 5 fouls. Chiawana sitting at 4 team fouls. Pukas, wraparound pass. Down low, they kick it back outside. Pukas gets behind the arc for 3. It's off the heel. Excellent rebound for Foster, going over everyone to rip it away.
And Maldonado tipped that ball. So
foul on the shot as Rude was going to work in the post.
Triple team. See that?
Yes. And it was Pukas from behind who tagged Rude. So 3:08 left here in the third quarter.
And that's the thing, when you get someone who's agile like that, and if she gets set in that block, it's real difficult, especially when the pass goes up and then, she pivots. It's real difficult.
Rude is so effective on that spin, right? When she pivots like you're talking about. It's so quick, too.
Yep. Because you can't move her off the block.
She's able to connect on that second free throw. 15 points for the senior. Lead cut down to 5 and a travel. So the pressure from Chiawana forces the travel. And the Riverhawks can make it a 1-possession game with a field goal of any sort, whether it's a 2 or a 3. Maldonado looks for the 3. Off the mark.
Real good look at it. Yeah, sorry, Tyler.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, she had a real good look at it. It was just the rotation was off a little bit, but again, she's getting good looks.
Pukas wide left on the 3. Hops out of play. She was hoping that it was blocked, and she has a big smile on her face. I think she knows. She was like trying to coerce the referees into saying, oh, it actually was off of them.
And Brian Hill, Glacier Peak's trying to sell that as well. So,
boy, Brenna has a big smile on her face almost half of the game. She has so much fun out there on the floor. Thompson to the hoop. Ooh. Great lay-in as she blows by the defender for her first basket. That one telegraphed all the way as Foster saw it. This for the tie. She's got it. Just like that, it's 42 apiece. This one squirts out. It finds Toma inside. Traveled before the block.
Great. Great officiating, good defense. And what you're seeing here is a commitment to defense by Chiawana right now. And it's got Glacier Peak a little bit, just off kilter. And you saw the coach over there, Brian, saying, hey, settle down, settle down.
Coach Hill for Glacier Peak telling his Grizzlies to settle down. Coach Jonas for Chiawana telling his Riverhawks, keep doing what we've been doing. Step back 3, no. Foster short on the deep triple. Boy, that was online, though. That was straight online.
The no came from she just levitated up there, and she took a college 3.
Inside out, Miller with another one. It just trickles out, and an offensive rebound. There's Dylan Gordon swooping in. Ritter left alone. She tries the 3. She has 8 points, and Glacier Peak back out in front. Maldonado into the corner. Thompson, she just showcased the speed a moment ago. It's Maldonado for 3. It's too strong. Gordon down there again for Glacier Peak with the board. Ritter. Pukas desperately trying to get free. Now she does. Going one-on-one with Maldonado. Pukas with the step through. Right hand floated out. And it's last touch by Kaya Foster, so it stays here with Glacier Peak. That's one of those plays that you're talking about, or that I was talking about with Dylan Gordon. Doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but she was right there, forced Foster to not rebound it cleanly.
But that's exactly right, Tyler. That's that's where you force an error.
Poked out of play by Maldonado. It's been fun watching Maldonado and Pukas go one-on-one all night.
Isn't it, though?
Two great athletes. They want it. They both want an opportunity to play in the state semifinals.
They're both so fluid, and they're quarterbacks, they're generals out there. They're in command of the offense, and they play tenacious defense. And there it is for you all to see. See if they get.
There's Pukas. Tried to shake the defender. This time it was Thompson on her. 10 on the shot clock
Yeah,
for Glacier Peak. 12 on the game clock for Ritter. And it's a 5-second count as she was at the top. And it turned over to Chiawana with just 10 seconds left.
So if the person guarding you, I mean, if
the
you're
ball
guarding
handler.
The ball handler, and there's 5 feet there, 5 seconds, you're within 3 feet, there's a count with the official there. So you have to have an awareness to know that 5-second count is going on. And you have to get past the shoulder of the person guarding you.
Corner 3 falls short. Rebound is scooped up by Glacier Peak, and that is how the third quarter comes to a close. Cinderella's looking to continue dancing as it's Glacier Peak with a 3-point lead over Chiawana heading into the fourth quarter on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks.
So for the parents that are interested in learning about Core Plus and what it can do for their children, just know that it's one of the bigger opportunities that you can get in high school. It is such an opportunity. Find the neighboring schools that have it. There's an opportunity there to not just learn skills, but a career path.
Are you interested in continuing your athletic career? If so, Centralia College could be the place for you. Our programs here are designed to inspire and help kids evolve and grow individually, both on and off the field. If all of that sounds great, come join us here at Centralia College.
Welcome back, as this is the WIAA State Basketball Championships brought to you by Giza Credit Union. All the live championship action is on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks, as it will be Glacier Peak beginning the fourth quarter with the ball up 3. Maz, we've got ourselves a good finish coming up here.
It's going to be a fantastic finish.
Ritter pulls another 3 and connects. Zoe Ritter from downtown, and it's a 6-point lead for Glacier Peak. And a steal. Sammy Toma able to come up with the theft, and now Pukas walks it across. Glacier Peak, the 13 seed, the only double-digit seed left standing in the 3A girls bracket.
That's quite a feat.
The floater. That one is wide right for Pukas. Maldonado swings it over. Medeles to the baseline, jump shot. Doesn't go for Foster, but she will have 2 free throws.
And we've talked about Glacier Peaks going downhill, but there you saw from Chiawana actually, getting downhill, making 2 passes, and finding themselves, creating a shot.
That one rims out for Foster, who's missed her last 2 free throws. Second free throw. And she hits it. 11 points for Kaya Foster. 48-43 Glacier Peak.
It is on a knife edge, as they say.
This one well up for grabs. Ritter down low and is fouled. Gianna Medeles with the foul. Zoe Ritter at the free throw line. First free throw attempts of the second half for Glacier Peak.
So you like that, Medeles with a hard foul, and then she goes to pick her up.
That's sportsmanship, right?
Yeah, but you know what? You saw what happened. You saw what Ritter did. She just looked past her hand and went to the free throw line. It's sportsmanship, gamesmanship, and it's intensity. And it's all within the framework of the game. You love that.
These 2 teams, boy, they are really locked in. A trip to the state semifinals is on the line. Maldonado from way outside, off the mark. Miller with the board. 5 threes, but Miller has also done some other things too. And it's in the hands of Pukas. Lucas gets it back. She'll try the triple. Short. Offensive rebound. Gordon had it momentarily. Tried to pry it free from Rude, who was able to rip it away. Now Chiawana's on the run. Contreras for three. Around and out. Rude is there for the rebound and puts it back in. 17 for Rude.
How do you like that run from she gets the rebound and she got the rebound on both ends.
Yes. After the off of the offensive rebound, Toma couldn't connect for three, and Pukas with the shove in the back. That will be her third foul. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, 49-45, Glacier Peak with the lead. Lily Riechelson will check back in for the Grizzlies. 3 of their last 5 wins for Glacier Peak have been by single digits.
And you're starting to see some little heavy breathing by players from both teams here. And this is when we talked about that, the pace of this game.
Foster with the foul going after the offensive board.
And that's that one we talked about, that she goes up, but she makes contact here. So that's that push you referred to.
That push into the back. And she really leaped up there to get that rebound too. Ritter.
Where's she going next year?
Foster will be headed to New Mexico.
Oh.
And a timeout is taken by
Lobos.
Glacier Peak. The WIAA is accepting applications for the Smart Choices Scholarship Program until March 14th. Proudly funded by Giza Credit Union and the Dairy Farmers of Washington. Smart Choices Scholarship Program rewards student participants for making smart decisions. Learn more and apply online at WIAA.com/smartchoices. Deadline is March 14th. So what does Glacier Peak do here with only 14 seconds on the shot clock?
You got plenty of time. You run your offense. And there you go, right? You kind of do that stack there. And, well, who do you think they're going to try to get the ball to?
Probably in the hands of number 3, Brenna Pukas.
You might go to Ritter, though.
Here's Pukas, looking for the three. Was online again, but short. Rebound for Contreras. Chiawana pushing the pace up ahead. Medeles couldn't grab it cleanly, but was able to save it in the corner. And it's back into the hands of Maldonado. Down low, Rude. Quick pass outside. Medeles for three. Skids off the rim. Rebound on the run, but putting the brakes on was Riechelson, but she threw it right to Foster. Mid-range jumper is there. It's another time where Foster's been in the right place at the right time.
Oh, you know what? She knows what she was doing. She jumps that route, is kind of sneaky, and then sees the loose ball and then grabs it. Nah, that was sneaky. You're absolutely right, but she made an effort to get there, to be in the right place. It wasn't by chance, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's that high IQ that you see from so many of these, every one of these athletes and all of these teams. You get to this point, you have the brains, not just the talent as well to get here.
And that's that next level, right? Anticipation. Good Lord.
Oh, great job for Miller to poke it free as Rude has to scoop it up from beyond the three-point arc.
And for
7 on the shot clock for Chiawana. Maldonado to Foster for the lead. She's got it. Chiawana out in front by 1, 50-49. Toma. She'll drive on Foster into the lane. It spins out. Trying to track it down as Toma is able to get her own miss. Ritter way outside, off the mark, and it goes out of play. Back to Chiawana as we're halfway through the fourth quarter of this state quarterfinal matchup.
Could we add 4 more minutes? This is fantastic. I know it's not fair, but, we're sitting on our you-know-what while these girls are playing high-level, next-level basketball. Defense, passing the ball, taking the shots. Oh, this is great stuff, isn't it?
You might get your wish. We've seen overtime on the boards court a couple of times. With overtime, who knows? Still a long way to go before we get to that point.
Yeah. Let's just enjoy the moment, and then we'll figure out what comes after that.
Foul on Toma. So that is her 4th. Lucas with 3, Ritter with 3, Toma with 4, Miller with 2, and Riechelson with 2 for Glacier Peak. They have 3 team fouls. Chiawana with just 2 team fouls. Rude in the post. What a move! Banks it in!
And that's a good adjustment by her because she only had a double team instead of a triple team. She makes that one move, sees some space, dribbles, and goes up.
Lucas. Just 3 points in the second half so far. Miller hoists another 3 and ties it up. And she's not just hitting 3s, she's hitting them from the parking lot. 3 minutes to go.
She's high five. She's over there on high five to your point, my brother.
Contreras spits out. And Toma down low again, securing another rebound for Glacier Peak. It's the hot hand of Miller. Does she have another one? Too strong. What a closeout from Maldonado to make it a lot more difficult, and they get the timeout in the corner for Glacier Peak.
Again, you know what we're seeing great offense, but also defense. Shots are being contested. The shots are going in, but each one of them is being contested.
Just a reminder, coming up next on a separate stream, we've got Lake Washington, the number 2 seed, taking on the number 1 seed, Davis. At about 9 o'clock here on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks. Make sure you head over to our website, elisportsnetwork.com. Paul Beatty's done an outstanding job updating our website. We have hubs for every single state tournament going on. And you can also access our broadcast page there, and that's where you can find all of these games. Head over to elisportsnetwork.com for coverage of this tournament. We've also got coverage of all kinds of other stuff. We've got professional sports. We've got high school sports all year long, not just state basketball tournament. We cover it all in the regular season, in the fall, winter, and spring sports. We've got spring sports state championships in just a couple months' time. You talk about looking over the steering wheel a little bit. Before you know it, we'll be doing some state stuff in the spring as well. So great time to bookmark our website. We have game recaps, video highlights, player interviews, and a whole lot more. So 2:46 left here in the fourth quarter, 20 seconds on the shot clock for Glacier Peak.
Yeah, no, here we go. Let's see how they execute this play right here, Tyler, because each possession is critical.
Perfect execution as Lily Riechelson is able to bury the jump shot right out of the timeout. Perfect timeout called by Coach Hill.
That's good coaching.
Chiawana trying to get the response. The 3 is short, and it's dribbled off of the foot of Miller. Great job from Rude as she got her hand in there and helped force that.
Again, that's what we talked about. You mentioned it. Those little things, contesting every loose ball, every defense, every shot.
Foster tosses it in. Rude to the outside. Maldonado. They get it back down to Rude. Spinning. Banks it in once more. She's up to 21 points.
Now remember, last time she went to her right. This time she faked right and went to her left. Oh, boy.
54 apiece. Miller. This time it rims out. And it's Foster who is there right on the spot. Foster with 11 points in the second half. Under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Maldonado had to pick up her dribble. And a timeout from Coach Jonas. That is a great timeout. He could see that his team needed a reset. Let's draw up a play on the whiteboard. Great timeout from Coach Jonas.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You got 13 seconds left there, and like to your point, you noticed that the ball handler, the count was
it was getting close to that 5 second.
Man, no, timeout. But bring it back in. Yep. Brilliant.
Yeah. Instead of having his team scramble, set up a play.
And a turnover, we've talked about the players. Let me back up and say this. Great coaching is about putting your players in the best position for them to succeed on any level, and we're seeing this here.
So now, I asked you where do they go for Glacier Peak. Where does Chiawana go? Because Rude has been sensational. Now, not only has she been great scoring, how about her passing outside? She catches the ball so well, and she passes so precisely. Maybe you set up Foster outside, Maldonado, some of the other shooters too, or do you just want her to go to work in the post?
I'll let you handle it because last time I was wrong. But no, I think you go in, out, or out, in, right?
Yep.
Let me hedge the answer.
I like it. So you're not wrong in any scenario
Absolutely.
here. You are.
I'm not a gambling person, so there you go. No, but absolutely. I think you're going to look for Rudin. I mean, that's the first thing. But actually, you're going to try to get the ball in by Maldonado in the back, right? Because everybody's going to look for the double team.
That's where they go. Maldonado, they left her alone. 10 on the shot clock. Now it's Rudin the post. Inside out. Menelez for 3. Off the mark. And a nice rebound. Able to rip it away was Miller. Now it's Pukas. Onto the wing, Toma. Miller, they swing it for Ritter, who's had an awesome second half. Here's Pukas. She's had some clutch shots already this tournament and can't have another one. It didn't hit the rim, so there's 5 on the shot clock for Glacier Peak.
I don't think they know that.
2 seconds on the shot clock, and now 1. It's a shot clock violation.
Yeah, that's a good pickup by you to notice that it didn't hit the rim there. They were not aware, and it's hard, right? She takes the shot, and she's off to the side, and she's not looking at the shot clock.
It goes back to Chiawana and Maldonado with a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Maldonado takes the screen from Rude. It's Menelez down low. 3 seconds in the lane, and it goes back to Glacier Peak.
We've seen two forced errors here by each defense, and this is what we talked about. But someone's got to step up.
So many coaches talk about valuing the ball. And no possessions are more valued than this one, as a foul is called underneath. It's just the 3rd team foul against Chiawana.
But there'll be a 10-second. Do you run it down and then the 10-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock? 10.5, if you will.
Yeah.
Interesting to see. I think they just run their offense here. Tyler, I don't think you overthink it.
Pukas, no offensive rebound. Foul on the shot. And Rude will pick up her 2nd foul. And it will be 2 free throws for the freshman. Lily Riechelson, the post player. Boy, welcome to the bright lights for the freshman.
Put me in, Coach. I'm ready. I'm ready to play. Oh.
That was halfway down and out. Just the 2nd missed free throw of the game for Glacier Peak. Riechelson with 8 points. This to break the 54 tie. And she does. 1 point lead for Glacier Peak. Half a minute to go. About a 5-second difference between the shot clock and game clock.
You know where they're going to go. She's high up, though. She's way too high for my liking.
There's the floater, and a foul is called. And Tiarina will head to the free throw line. That's Mia Tiarina, the senior guard. And Zoe Ritter has just picked up her 4th foul, and with 20.7 seconds left, more free throws. Off the mark on the first. And we've talked about it all week long. Offensive rebounding off of missed free throws. That can be so key, and timeout will be taken by Glacier Peak. But we've seen it. It's manifested itself in our first game on this very floor, where Garfield, they got back-to-back offensive rebounds on missed free throws. They ended up shooting 6 consecutive free throws with under half a minute to go. They ended up making the 2 on the final 2 of the 6,
right? And
that helped them get to the finish line and continue that incredible win streak. And we've seen it throughout all season long. Offensive rebounds off of missed free throws. So certainly that is what Coach Hill is talking about with his ladies in the huddle. And I'm curious, what is Coach Jonas talking to Chiawana in the huddle? What's the message?
I think the message there is going to be, let's take a look. So you got 4 fouls up there. He's really going to just talk about the next play and let his shooter kind of, not get into her, right? Okay, if we make it, all right, then he's going to call the defense. If we miss it, all right, get back on defense, no foul. So that's how he's just going to play that simply, right? I don't think he's going to overthink it and try to go to a full court or half court press. I think here you just want this free throw made. If we make it, get back on defense.
Mia Tiarina.
And I'm sure there'll be another timeout here.
This to tie it. And she calmly hits it. And there's that timeout. 4 points for Mia Tiarina. And Chiawana with the timeout. They're left with 1. Glacier Peak, they do have 2 timeouts with 20.7 seconds left. So obviously the first objective for Glacier Peak, inbound it cleanly. Get it into the front court cleanly is objective number 2. Then after that, you have to run probably your best play. We see Coach Hill drawing something up on the whiteboard. Where do you go? You have so many options. We've seen Ricky Miller with the hot hand from 3. Brenna Pukas so many times has been clutch for this Grizzly squad. Do you go elsewhere too?
Well, to be determined, and I say that because you do run your options, right? You've got enough time to run, but it's dependent on what Chiawana does.
Yes.
Right? So there's a possibility where they could pick them up at half, right? Or they could just stay back. They want to contest the shot, but what you don't want to do is foul. That's the first thing that was said in that huddle. Do not foul at 1-2. Do not foul the shooter.
Yes.
Okay? So you got 20 seconds. Play your normal defense, which now they're going to go exactly. It's kind of a 3-quarter because you don't want them just to come down and set up. But I think you know who they're looking for here.
Here's Britta Pukas.
Yep.
10 seconds left.
No fouls
Pukas
here.
Gets around Maldonado. Pukas still going with it, trying to navigate through traffic. It's loose on the floor. Tie up possession arrow to Chiawana. So Chiawana with 2.9 seconds left. Does Coach Jonas want time? Or is he going to keep it in his pocket? He's talking with the referee now. It'll be Chiawana going the length of the floor with just 2.9 seconds left.
Yeah.
Timeout. Yep, there it is. I was looking over there, and he was having that long conversation, waiting as long as he could. Timeout.
Should I? I think it's a good one because, look, 2.9, you'll pick up another one if you go into like what we peeked over the steering wheel, to your point. But for right now, I think the important thing is that Glacier Peak, again, flip the script. He's going to come back and he's going to say, do not foul. You know what I'm saying? Again, those are your two, your top 2 things here. I think they will try to contest a little bit. 2.9 from there to there is enough time to kind of desperate Hail Mary, Fred Mary, whatever you want to call it, but just make sure that you do not foul.
It'll be Kaya Foster who will inbound. Malia Rood is standing at the logo.
And in basic basketball, that's what you do, right? To break any press, where is the weakest of any press? In the middle.
Foster.
Give it to her.
Gets it in. This will count if it goes for Maldonado, and it hits off the back of the rim, and we are going to overtime. Maz, you get your free 4 minutes as it's overtime between Chiawana and Glacier Peak. Back right after this on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks.
Spin Tees Screen Print and Graphics in Olympia gives you the very best printing and embroidery, perfect for teams, schools, companies, or special events. Get excellent quality, custom designs, quick turnaround, and low pricing. Count on Spin Tees for quality brands like Port Authority, Sport Tech, and District Threads. For easy ordering and results you'll love, go to spinteeprints.com or check them out on Facebook.
The real estate market is changing, and John L. Scott can answer your questions with a free market analysis. If you're a homeowner, it's really important to get a current market analysis. It only takes a few minutes of your time and contains valuable information about your biggest investment. This might be the year to make a move and take advantage of this market. For your free market analysis, see Laura Lee today at John L. Scott, 900 West Main in Centralia.
It's overtime here in the girls state basketball quarterfinals, as this is the WIAA State Basketball Championships, brought to you by Giza Credit Union. All the live championship action is on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks. 55-55, Glacier Peak and Chiawana heading to overtime. 4 minutes of action here in the overtime period for the right to go to the state semifinals.
And my earlier comment, it's fitting that we would, what I was manifesting is this, obviously it's not doing me, but it's only fitting just because of the talent, the effort, the coaching, and what we've seen from both of these teams.
Off the tap, it's Chiawana who controls with Emily Thompson. Both teams at 4 team fouls. Next foul puts them both in the bonus.
Right, they carry over.
Maldonado with the lay-in, +1.
And, you know, she had been missing. We saw her take those shots, and outside of the near game winner there with 2 seconds left, I mean, you know, it gave her confidence. I mean, after she hit the back of that rim, she had that look like, okay.
She is able to calmly knock down the free throw. Bailey Maldonado with the three-point play. 58-55, Chiawana strikes first. Glacier Peak first time on offense in the extra session. Get a foul away from the ball as Pukas was trying to get free from Maldonado.
And that's fair. Fair all the way. We're going to have to watch now. The legs are a little bit tired. The desire is there. There's no doubt about that. The energy's there. But what happens is the body's a little bit heavy. The feet are. So you have to reinforce in your mind. I got to move my feet. I got to keep my hands up. So,
should mention Pukas picked up that foul at the other end. That is her 4th foul. Okay. She goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line, pulls Glacier Peak to within 1. Pukas, Ritter, and Toma, all with 4 fouls for Glacier Peak. Maldonado and Medelas each with 3 fouls for Chiawana. It's Foster. Back outside, Thompson. Thompson scoots beyond the arc. Rude, she really wanted it, didn't get it. 8 on the shot clock for Chiawana. They set up Rude in the post. Back outside, Maldonado for 3. It's off the side of the rim. Tracked down in the corner, and it is Toma who comes away with the rebound. Ritter, a little collision with Foster. They play on. Ritter in the lane. It's floated short, and it goes out of play.
It's always an interesting play that when the defender's coming down and the ball handler's coming down court and sees the defender and tries to kind of draw that foul. But, you know, Kia Foster is saying, hey, isn't that a foul? But it's a no call because her athletic ability made sure that she didn't foul her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
Dylan Gordon into the game for Glacier Peak. Mia Tiarina into the game for Chiawana. It's Maldonado. Her three-point play is the difference so far.
Run some clock here.
Rude, step through move, off the glass. Too much on this one. Riechelson with a strong board as she went through the trees to grasp it. And now it's Pukas with 14 points.
There's still a willingness to pay attention to detail. They're still rebounding, still moving the feet. You notice that Maldonado's following. Now
it's Gordon on the wing.
Yeah.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Pukas had to retreat nearly to half court. Pukas on Foster with 5. Pukas in the lane and is fouled. And it will be 2 free throws as Glacier Peak is in the bonus. Foster with her 3rd foul. Pukas with 2 more free throws.
Yeah, and you knew she was going to be aggressive and
ties it at 58.
Brian Hill was going to find a way to get the ball into her hands, and that's what you do, right? Get the ball into your playmaker's hands.
Glacier Peak in the lead. 4 overtime free throws for Brenna Pukas. She is a perfect 6 of 6 from the free throw line. We're halfway through overtime. 59-58. Glacier Peak with the lead. Maldonado. Down low, it's Rude on the block. With the right hand, That time it was short off the glass, and Gordon is there to collect it. And Pukas will slowly walk it up for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I think that Rude is getting the ball a little bit higher than she probably preferred that.
And she comes up with the steal, deflected it away. Now Maldonado weaving her way through traffic, sets up Foster on the baseline. Foster gets around the defender and on the reach in is fouled. Ricky Miller got a piece of Foster as she went up. And Kaya Foster, the Washington State commit, will have 2 free throws.
And again, we're seeing the intentionality of getting the ball to your playmakers. And when you have a guard like Maldonado who gets it, okay, if Rude, last time I went there, she was too far away. What's my other option? Let me move to the right. Just brilliant, brilliant. Same thing on the other end that we're seeing too.
Chiawana in the lead, 60-59. 18 points for Kaya Foster. How about this clutch free throw shooting from both teams here in OT? Pukas sets up the offense for Glacier Peak. It's been a while since they've made a 3. Pukas to the outside. Here's a 3 on the way. It's Lily Riechelson from downtown.
Look at you calling that out there.
A minute to go in overtime. 62-60 Glacier Peak. Rude at the top. Foster in the lane. Poked away by Gordon and went off of Foster's foot and out of play. Gordon came in on the double team to help, and she was able to knock it free without fouling, and now a flurry of substitutions. Emily Thompson into the game for Chiawana. Jordan Maiden into the game for the Riverhawks as well, and Zoe Ritter re-enters for Glacier Peak. How about that 3 from the freshman?
Wow, brilliant. You called it. I mean, she stepped back. She saw where that her foot would have been on the 2, took a step back, and as a freshman with ice in her veins, dagger.
About a 20-second difference with the shot clock and game clock. Pukas staring eye to eye with Maldonado. She retreats to the logo and goes with 10 on the shot clock. It's Pukas. Driving baseline, has to step back beyond the arc, puts up the shot. It's blocked by Pukas, and Rude is there for Chiawana. They can tie it or take the lead as a little misstep from Maldonado. And a timeout for Chiawana. As they get that one timeout, both sides get the timeout in OT.
Are you not entertained?
Oh, man.
Are you not entertained? How could you, just brilliant, brilliant defense, awareness, not to foul. Good team defense.
So Coach Hill, he was trying to say, hey, why do they have a timeout? It says on the scoreboard they don't have any timeouts. But in overtime, each team gets that additional timeout. So it's actually, it's 3 timeouts for Glacier Peak. And now no timeouts for Chiawana. So the scoreboard is correct in that regard.
Sorry, partner. I was just kind of chuckling how you were just weaving through trying to explain that so eloquently without trying to say, they messed up on the scoreboard and didn't put the one there.
Look, we appreciate our staff here.
Oh,
It's
you're
been a long couple of days.
absolutely.
Hey,
oh, absolutely.
It's okay. Mistakes happen all the time. But
not that we could never, man. We've been making mistakes with you and I all
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Man.
All right, so here's the story now.
Okay.
Chiawana, they need to go the length of the floor. They can't move on the
No, they
baseline as
cannot.
well because
Nope.
it wasn't a made field goal. So does Glacier Peak pressure knowing they have 3 players on the floor with 4 fouls, or do they just let them bring it up?
I think you do that token about half, and that's where we're seeing them go. And you know they're going to try to get the ball to Rude. But here's my thought. You've got options with Foster and Maldonado. So there you go.
Maldonado brings it across with 12. Medeles to Maldonado. That pass deflected by Pukas. She comes up with the theft, and it's fouled with 4.8 seconds left. What a play from Brenna Pukas.
And we talked about it. We just talked about the defense, about batting passes and everything else. Maldonado's got nothing to be ashamed of right there. That's just good defense. If she was able to get that pass, Foster was on her way to the basket. So
2 free throws for Brenna Pukas.
Right.
She makes the first.
That's the one she needed.
Emily Thompson checking back in for Chiawana.
Interesting. She's 0 for 3, but she took 3, so she might be one of his 3-point specialists, you know.
To make it a 4-point game. And Pukas does just that. 18 points, and now just 4.8 seconds left for Chiawana. And they have no timeouts. Foster up ahead, all the way to the basket, lays it in, but it's Glacier Peak, Cinderella. They're still dancing, and they're dancing themselves into the state semifinals.
I mean, you know what? If the shoe fits, wear it into the night.
Midnight has not struck on Glacier Peak. They're going into the state semifinals. Wow, what a game. 64-62. We'll recap it in our Alderson's Awards West post-game show right after this on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks.
We all know that we'll eventually need a will. Eventually. How about right now? Trust and Will has taken the process of creating your will and made it easy. Like while you're lounging on the couch, easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys, but customized by you. One question at a time. All documents are state-specific, legally valid, and start at just $199. That's not a typo. Find the plan that's right for you at trustandwill.com.
47.52.
Hey up there. Points. Points!
Everyone knows miles are better than points.
Oh, you fancy miles. That's all you ever talk about.
Stop! I'm telling Dad you used credit.
Bah!
Pish posh. Use me.
What he needs is points.
Think about the repercussions.
It's 10% off if you sign up for a store card.
No.
Oh, boy.
It's okay to use credit sometimes. Let's talk about it.
Find a healthier approach to money at Giza.
Time to wrap up this game with the Alderson's Awards West Post Game Show. Awards West in Centralia can supply you with t-shirts, hats, and hundreds, if not thousands, of promotional products, even team uniforms. Before you buy, check in with locally owned Awards West printwares at aldersons.net. Now back to our ESN crew.
This is the WIAA State Basketball Championships brought to you by Giza Credit Union. All the live championship action is on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks. What action we just saw between Chiawana and Glacier Peak, as this is our Alderson's Awards West post-game show for trophies, awards, t-shirts, and so much more. Go to aldersons.net for their full catalog. Glacier Peak in overtime. They defeat Chiawana 64-62, and Glacier Peak is going to the state semifinals, where they will meet the winner of our next game, Lake Washington and Davis, tomorrow night at 9 o'clock for the right to go to the state championship game. Maz, your quick final thoughts on this one.
Just a brilliant game, you know, heart, energy, soul, and this, unfortunately, somebody had to lose, but it had to go to overtime. Just a brilliant game. Well done by both teams.
I couldn't agree more. It is so unfair and unjust that someone had to lose this game. Two great teams putting it all out on the line. What an effort from both sides. Our Thorbeck's game MVP, strong today, stronger tomorrow, strongest together at Thorbeck's. And we are going to hand it out to none other than Brenna Pukas, as she had 18 points, hit clutch free throws. She was 8 for 8 herself from the free throw line, had the game-winning steal, and sealed the deal with those last two free throws. All around great effort, and you can tell this team gels so well when she's on the floor, and she's the reason why Glacier Peak ended up winning this ball game.
A true leader, a true warrior, just amazing.
So, Chiawana, they will head to the consolation bracket tomorrow at 2 o'clock. They'll face the loser of Lake Washington and Davis. And again, Glacier Peak into the semifinals. They'll await Lake Washington and Davis, the winner of that game. One last stat, Glacier Peak 18 of 20 from the free throw line. We talked about it all game long. You do the little things right. That's winning basketball when you are shooting 90% from the free throw line. Make sure you tune in. Number 1 against number 2, Lake Washington and Davis out on the floor. Should be a fun one. We hope to see you there. If not, then we hope you have a great and safe evening. We'll see you next time on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks. Glacier Peak is moving on to the state semis.
Thank you for watching and subscribing to the Eli and NFHS Sports Networks. Remember, a portion of your subscription goes back to the schools. We can't wait to see you again, right here for the best in high school sports live action. The Eli Sports Network.